for the Ducks, coming off of two teams in the Mexican Winter League, as the first pitch of the ball game misses outside for ball one. Allowed 2 hits. Did not strike out a batter, but got the outs he needed. Not a strikeout guy. 3-1 count to Nick Ward, a guy who earned himself a contract with the Philadelphia Phillies. 3-1, called strike, a fastball in the outside corner. 15 walks, 18 RBIs, 7 homers. As he bounces this one to first, George will take it himself and get the leadoff man out. A very experienced backstop for the Aces and a very experienced two-hitter for the Giants as Michael Martinez bloops this in to left center field, right in between Burke and Whitefield for the first hit of the day. So 1 on and 1 out for Anthony Quirion, last night's catcher. Tonight he's getting a day off in the field, but keeping that bat in the lineup. Leads the team with a .367 batting average. Ward was 3 for 5 last night, so was Quirion, including an RBI single in the second inning. 0-1. Liner out to left field, and that's going to fall into green grass for a second consecutive hit. He's been a pro since 2013, on and off. Had a bunch of seasons in a whole bunch of different leagues. Signed by the Milwaukee Brewers out of Sonoma State University.
Right now, with 2 men in scoring position, Aces deciding to keep the infield back.
So that negates the double play, as this one is fisted into shallow center field. Easing back towards it is Khalil, and almost tagging up was Michael Martinez, trying to force an errant throw home, but a good one from Khalil. One of the couple of ABL teams that has an accord with major league organizations to get some of their good prospects. His Carr takes a called strike, making it 2-1.
See what they're working on.
2-1, called strike on the outside corner. A nice pitch from Harkin.
But Harkin and Lavarnway were both headed back to the dugout.
Payoff pitch, just missing outside, and it's ball 4. Second full count, first walk of the day to the Adelaide Giants, and the bases are loaded. A guy in the Chicago Cubs system as the curveball settles in there for a called strike. The low-A affiliate of Chicago. 0-1, hit on the ground to short. Glendening goes toward it. High throw to first. George leaps, and he gets on the bag in time. Pitched in the prestigious Futures game back in 2016. South African native, expected to play for the South African national team in the World Baseball Classic.
You don't see a ton of professional baseball players come out of South Africa, so pretty cool to see.
The 0-2 is hammered deep into right field. Going back is McArdle, settling on the track to make the catch. And another one hit high and hard by Burke.
The trajectory that it was on. Oh yeah, I mean, if that ball doesn't get out, I don't think there aren't too many balls that are going to get out tonight going to right field if that one doesn't.
That was barreled up really well. Quincy Lattimore in left as Unsworth deals the one out. Glendening sprays it foul, 1-1. Unsworth now in for the 1-1. Tipped into the glove of January for strike 2. Working quickly, here's the 1-2. Now another one hit high in the air out to left center field. An easier run, though, for Carr. Ends up in the glove of Lattimore, who comes on pretty late to make the catch. Expect to see a long fly ball from as well. First pitch to the lefties, in there for a called strike.
Not a day off from playing, but just a day to get off your feet.
2-1. Swing and a miss. Underneath the fastball is Skoll.
Maybe Burke's the DH the next day. Darryl George the day after that. Whitefield after that.
2-2. Swing and a miss. The first K of the day. Dylan Unsworth finishes off the Aces in order 1-2-3. As Harkin is ready, pitching from the stretch here. Unusual for a starter, as it's a hard liner by McArdle. Into the shift as Khalil fields that in right to make the first out of the second inning.
But nonetheless, a really nice play by Khalil there.
And right there it worked to perfection as January takes the first pitch for a strike.
I thought what they could have done, at least for the beginning of this new rule, is say, all right, you can pick one or the other. You can have 3 infielders on one side.
Each baseman and the shortstop could only be in one of those sections. Payoff pitch, called strike 3. January was ready to walk to first base, but instead he'll walk to the dugout.
January, I'm moving on to February.
Nasty pitch right on the outside. But that pie slice, that was kind of what I thought was going to be for the shift instead of just eliminating completely. That puts the shift into the game.
It does completely take away the advantage that a lot of teams, had.
We'll definitely see a lot of it in the minors. Payoff pitch. Hit on the ground to second, right at George Khalil, who's going to throw to first for out number 3. So Scott Harkin cruising in the second inning. One of the biggest crowds we'll see all year on hand. That's one of the biggest hits we'll see all night. George sends the first pitch out of the ballpark. Darryl George, a leadoff home run, picking up right where he left off in that Canberra series, and the Aces are on the board first. A Darryl George home run right at the start of the inning puts the Aces out in front. We're going to fly out of here as fast as that baseball did and head to a break. Now that'll bring up another guy with a lot of power in Ryan Lavarnway, who takes the first pitch for a called strike.
Skoll and George have all done that so far, and 3 of those guys hit deep fly balls, 1 left the yard.
0-1, hard hit, but right to third baseman Walters, who'll send it across the diamond for out number 1. First pitch to him, in there for a called strike. Now we're getting a preview of a potential World Baseball Classic matchup. 0-2. That one is hit high in the air out to center field. Carr's going to ease back and make the one-handed grab, and that will do it. Now the 1-0. Hit the other way, foul. 3-1. Whitefield thought it was ball 4. Frankly, so did I. And this one he hits the other way to first base. Fielded on a hop by Spence, who's going to tag the bag for out number 3.
Top 3 at Melbourne Ballpark. Scott Harkin back to work, this time working with a lead. Nick Ward, the Giants' leadoff man, skies one to left. And there is Chris Burke. 1 pitch, 1 out for Scott Harkin. But with Ward retired, here's Michael Martinez. First pitch curveball from Harkin, just drops that one in there for strike 1. Slapped on the ground to the left side. Dale has it go off his glove into shallow left center. Then a 1-2-3 second. Another curve, that one's over. It's 1-1. Coming at Melbourne Ballpark this year. 2 in round 1 against Geelong, Korea. Got that extra bounce in his step tonight. It's the reason the Aces lead this one. Long run for Robson. He makes the grab on the run.
That one almost as close of a run for the first baseman as it would have been for Robson, but he made that look really easy.
For George, like you said, probably the closest to it, but just not a good angle for him. Check swing, appeal down to first. High-profile ball players had a good career. Martinez takes off again. And the pitch was way outside. Martinez had a huge jump. He steals it easily. Harkin not too quick to the plate. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike 3. The Aces looking to build off that early lead. Robson swings at the first pitch. Out to second, handled by Ward. A lot of early swingers tonight for both teams. Next one from Unsworth. Chop to the left side. Martinez handles it. Throws offline. And the first baseman, Spence, tried to make the sweep tag. Just a modified version of what definitely got out of hand over the years with shifting.
Pretty much everyone on the first base side of the field to try and prevent him from hitting something to his pull side.
Payoff pitch coming to Burke. Here it is. That's outside, ball 4. Runners at first and second for the Aces. That brings up Glendinning as Melbourne looks to take advantage of the error. He's still a very young ball player with so much room to grow.
So matchups like these always really interesting between guys who have spent so much time together.
Good changeup down in the zone from Unsworth. It's 0-2 on Robbie. Unsworth really slowing the pace of this game down. Here's his 0-2. Hard hit on the ground to short. Martinez over to Ward, over to Spence, and it's an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. He's well stretched out, a career high in innings this season at the professional level. And he's got a 1-0 lead to work with here in the 4th. Another first pitch curveball from Harkin. He goes with the fastball here. It's 0-2.
Usually a fastball is a primary pitch, and especially coming off a night with Brian Flynn, where you see a lot of his fastball. It's a good change of pace, and it's clearly paying off.
Harkin in the game. He has the leadoff man gone in the 4th. He has not allowed a hit since the first. He allowed 2 singles and walked a batter in the first, but a 1-2-3 second.
That's what you like to see. The first inning certainly difficult, but he got out of that jam.
Stepped in Melbourne ballpark until yesterday. And then thrown right into it, gets the start tonight. Ground ball to short. Glendinning over to George, 2 gone. 1-0. Another good one from Harkin. He's really mixing those pitches too well tonight, Josh.
I just love that curveball. He locates it so well, and it has such a quick drop so close to the plate. It makes it really difficult to pick up for these Adelaide hitters.
Glendinning, the shortstop, is over on the second or on the first base side of second, and it won't matter anyway. Oh, another 1-2-3 inning for Scott Harkin. He's retired the last 5 batters he's faced. Another punch out, give him 4 in the game. Scholl struck out swinging to end the first. Unsworth worked a 1-2-3 first, hit a ball to the warning track in right. Glendinning sent one deep in left center, and you just knew early that the Aces were getting good swings.
You just saw the Aces hit the ball really hard in those first 2 at-bats, and they've continued to do that.
Ground ball to second. Ward handles it. Scholl's retired for the first out of the fourth.
I think Unsworth trying to show him who's boss with that inside fastball, and that's a better pitch.
Melbourne ballpark packed on a really good Friday night for a ball game. Before the end of the regular season. Tomorrow night at 7, Sunday at 1, then Tuesday at 7. 2-2, George rips one out to second. It gets through the legs of Ward into right center. Takes the first pitch fastball over for a strike. It's 0-1.
And those insurance runs have been a little tougher to come by.
George inches closer to second with his lead. Ground ball to third, could be 2, to second for 1. Over to first, not in time. 134 minor league games earlier this season in the Padres organization. Guy you can just pencil in the lineup. But a primary shortstop. Here's the 2-1. Swings over and foul tips a changeup. 2-2. The average, the OPS, the on-base percentage, it all keeps creeping up. Slapped on the ground to third, handled over there by Walters. He goes the short way to second, and the inning is over. So fielder's choice ends things here in the home half of the fourth.
Top of the 5th, 1-0 the lead for the Aces as January goes around on that low breaker. He struck out looking. Now the 0-1. Fastball docks the eye in the outside corner, and it's 0-2. As the 0-2, cut on a miss, and there's a strike 3, and is shutting down these Adelaide hitters. The 1-0 hit on a line to George, who fields it on a bounce. He'll tag the bag for out number 2. So 7 straight retired by Harkin, and there's a first strike to Nick Ward. And Michael Martinez, the other one, but both singles back in the first. 0-1. Hit on the ground to first again. George is busy. This time he'll flip it to Harkin, and that will end the inning.
Just seeing how many people are into this game, it's definitely contagious.
First pitch to Whitefield. He gets that swinging, rolls it down the left field line for a base hit. Whitefield will speed into second base, and he'll lead off the 5th with a stand-up double.
They just look so much younger.
Certainly hitting like a new guy. Well-hit ball right down the line there.
It really does look like it's a new guy out there. Wow. But, yeah, that's what you like to see.
And now Jacob Robson has a runner in scoring position as this one is sprayed into the gap in left center field over the glove of Carr. That's going to roll towards the wall as Whitefield will keep going around third base and jog on home. Jacob Robson drives in a run with an RBI double, and it's 2-0 Aces.
And that's just a really solid piece of hitting. Take a look at the replay. Fastball in the outer half, go with it, smack it to left center. Good effort by Carr, but
3 hits for the Aces, all have gone extra bases. And that rolls through the glove of the third baseman into left for a base hit. Robson sprints around third. He will score. Khalil to second base, sliding in safely.
With this lineup tonight, you got Whitefield setting the table at the bottom of the order with Robson there as well.
And Burke puts this one into play. That's in a left field for a base hit. Khalil rounds third. He'll go home. High throw. Nowhere near in time. Going to be an error on Quincy Lattimore that moved him to second. And then this one. Chris Burke taking it the opposite way.
Really like the approaches from these Aces hitters tonight.
4 straight hits to start off the 5th inning. A mound visit to try and calm down Unsworth, but one of the best hitters in the ABL, Robbie Glendinning. But a runner in scoring position, 0-1. That one is hammered deep into left field. Lattimore going back, and he's going to make the catch on the warning track. Burke is going to try and keep it hot, and he will, sliding into third base, making the first out of the 5th inning a productive one.
This Aces team is playing a different brand of baseball tonight. A lot of good swings and just some really good fundamental baseball. Burke knew he had a shot because of how deep that ball was in left, took a chance.
Not a guy you want to bring anything in for in Jake Skoll. Usually someone you'd want to play a bit back. He hits the ball really hard, aggressive, attacking the first pitch fastball, as he's been with Melbourne since the Brisbane series. That one is hit high in the air out to center field. It's not going to be a hit, but it should be enough to score a run. Caught by Carr. Burke's going to sprint home. The throw is offline, and Chris Burke jogs into home plate with the Aces' 5th run.
5 runs 3 times, but a 4-run inning here and a chance for more.
So the 4th highest scoring inning of the year. Run number 4 coming on a sacrifice fly. 8th ribby of the season for former first-round pick Jake Skoll, and now a 5-run lead to work with. He attacks the first pitch and hits it deep into left field. Lattimore going back on the track, and a couple steps in front of the wall, he'll reach up and make the grab. Punt 1-2-3 call to the bullpen takes Scott Harkin out of the game after he had a great one, and now Cody Mincy making his first appearance as a reliever for the Aces this season. And as good as the bats were in that last inning, we have to talk about what a strong pitching performance he had in his debut as a starter, as Cody Mincy issues a 4-pitch walk to Michael Martinez to lead off the 6th. And that leadoff walk was the first runner to reach base safely since the 1st inning.
Shows you how big the crowd is.
The 1-1 hit high in the air, foul down the right field line, 1-2. Second in command to his dog, Ace, of the team.
Correct.
Showing off some couple dents in his truck. As that one's grounded through the hole, it short into left field for a base hit. 2 hits on the day for Kirion, 5 this series, and Adelaide gets a base hit for the first time since the 1st inning. There's no better way to start the year than with an Aces membership and Aces baseball. We started the year with Aces baseball. Mincy won a ring with the Aces in the last season as the 3-1 in there for a called strike. A nasty cut fastball from Mincy. Lattimore thought he loaded the bases. Payoff coming from Mincy.
Oh, missed that one.
That one's a pretty easy ball 4. So the bases loaded, no one out here in the 6th.
All right, we need an out here. A little double play maybe.
Loaded up for Jared Carr, takes the first pitch for a called strike.
The jersey short of me is south. It's Ventnor. It's
they were in Lakewood for a while. I think it's the same.
Yep.
And make sure to tell him the jokes is bad because he doesn't think they are. 1-2. Hit on the ground to second, short double play potential, and that goes away from George Khalil, and that's going to bring a 2nd run home. Martinez scores easily, and on the air and throw by Glendinning. Anthony Kirion scores from 3rd, and that is not what you wanted to see. Something that looked like a nice trade. The throw just pulled Khalil off the bag, as you see on the replay. With an error on Glendinning. Now a 1-0 to Liam Spence, who fouls this off. Poked it into the backstop, and it's a 1-1 count. Runners on the corners, nobody out. The Mincy deals the 2-1. Spence hits this one high in the air out to right field. Robson giving chase towards the foul line in foul territory, and he'll make the grab, but that's going to score a run from 3rd base. And just one of those 3 runs will be earned for Mincy as McArdle fouls this back into the netting to make it 0-1. But 1 runner on first base, and that's Jared Carr. He's got good speed, as now it's a called strike to McArdle, 0-2. 2-2 now to McArdle. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out his last time up. Mincy deals. McArdle drills that into right field, and that could tie up the ball game.
Wow.
How quickly the tables turn. And that is going to be the end of the night for Cody Mincy. Peter Moylan is going to take the ball from him. And we will have a new pitcher coming into the ball game. And now John Kennedy will come in for the Aces in this punt 1-2-3 pitching change.
Get this inning over with.
So it's a new ball game, and the first pitch of Kennedy's night is a soft liner to Jared Dale. One pitch, and now 2 outs in the inning as Ryan January is retired. So 2 gone now for Ian Walters, as that is in there for a called strike. The pitch, another slider, this one catching the inside corner, and that's a nasty pitch to make it 1-2.
You stood next to Kennedy, haven't you? He's a big man.
A couple times.
He's huge.
2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So a tough inning for the Aces as the Giants bring 5 runs across, to tie this game up in another punt 1-2-3 call to the bullpen. This time it's the Giants changing arms, and Austin Ross will come on for Dylan Unsworth, who is now off the hook. Just a lock and key, really.
Yeah.
But now Lavarnway will lead off the 6th. The called strike to him as the breaking ball settles over prior to New Year's Eve against Canberra, as Lavarnway swings and misses 0-2. As Ross deals the 1-2. And that's a called strike 3 to Lavarnway. We've already seen a comeback win by the Giants over the Aces back when the team was in Adelaide, as Dale pops this one up behind home plate, and that is going to hit the roof at some point. There it is. 2-1 to Dale. Breaking ball just catching the inside corner, 2-2.
They're definitely doing a weekend where they're trying to see games in at least 3 cities.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Full count to Dale, and now it's ball 4. So the go-ahead run is on first here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Definitely not as crazy as some of the ones I've heard in like the NFL or something like that, where guys are spending like 30 grand a number. Sprayed into right field by Whitefield, and it's an easy catch for McArdle. 2 gone now in the 6th. The only reason I saw him is because our Sportscast Australia crew, put the slow-mo cam on. Otherwise, he would have been too fast.
Standing behind me in the booth.
0-1 to Robson. Cuts on and misses a breaking ball, 0-2. Might give the Aces the lead back in this one. But the 1-2. Called strike 3.
So back to the top of the Adelaide order. Ward's the guy who puts the ball in play. Here's a throw from Glendinning over to first. George held the bag. And 1 up, 1 down here in the 7th for Kennedy. But he looked like he had a little extra bounce in his step coming around the bases. And that's good to see from Darren. And Jake Skoll added a sac fly, but Adelaide got all 5 back in the top of the 6th.
You want them to come back, and they come back by seeing good baseball, whether it's a pitcher's duel or a lot of hits.
Line drive into left center, another hit from Michael Martinez.
I didn't mean for Michael Martinez to take that literally when I said come out here and take a lot of,
we didn't need
see a lot of hits. You should have seen the crowd, the cars coming in. There was a line out. It could be double play here.
Dale over to Khalil, over to George. It is an inning-ending double play. Looking to regain this lead.
Khalil's been on twice tonight, a hit and an error.
Absolutely, and we knew he could pick it with the glove. He rips one down the left field line into the corner. Khalil, a big turnaround first. He's headed for second. It's a leadoff 2-bagger with swagger for George Khalil, and the Aces have the go-ahead run in scoring possession with no outs. 5-5 our score, home half of the 7th. Burke rips one down the right field line, but that's foul. Gave up 5 runs all earned in 5 innings, including a home run.
Oof, that's a good pitch.
They're still in their early 20s. 1-2, tried to check his swing. Looked like he went around, and he did, according to the home plate the third base umpire. Burke down on strikes for out number 1 in the 7th. Here's Glendinning, who's 0 for 3 tonight, can get something going. You talked about all the big hits that you've seen him. A look at second, 0-1 to Glendinning. He fouls it back.
I can't do it either, and I've been here 20 years.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss.
Such a good battle there from Glendinning. It's a shame to see it end like that. I was just literally going to broach that subject, if maybe you and Josh would think about that. Not sure anywhere else in the world, but it's big here.
Yeah, so I figure maybe now's the time to try it. Big rip at a 1-1 fastball. It's 1-2. The payoff pitch again. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher January, and the inning is over. So Khalil doubles to start the frame, but Burke, Glendenning, and Skoll go down on strikes. It's a punt 1-2-3 pitching change for the Aces as they bring on right-hander Matt Beatty, who has been so good lately for this Aces team.
And Beatty just gave up that one home run to Cole Roeder against Canberra, but other than that, he has been lights out. Good breaking stuff.
Well, since he allowed that home run to Roederer in the Canberra series in his first outing of the season, solid outing in Sydney as well. And he needs just 4 pitches to pick up a strikeout here to start the 8th. Nasty breaking ball in the outer half, and Lattimore chased. You know, to be able to deploy him as a late inning reliever.
A guy who may be the closer for the Aces next season if he returns.
Hot shot out to second, but the vacuum George Khalil is over there. He makes the play. 4-3 on the putout, 2 up, 2 down. Beatty looking for another 1-2-3 inning. If he can get Spence here, it'll be his 6th straight 1-2-3 inning.
Retiring all 9. Him and Jeremy Young's appearance last night.
1-2, 2-out pitch coming up to Liam Spence. Here it is. Hard hit ground ball to short, but Glendenning has it. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Matt Beatty. He shuts the door down in the top of the 8th. And now the Aces with another chance to regain the lead in the bottom half.
I certainly hope so, too. They'll do it in a new pitcher in a punt 1-2-3 call to the bullpen. Adam McKilligan coming on for Adelaide.
If the Aces lose tonight, the Perth Heat will officially clinch a playoff spot. They won their game in Canberra earlier this evening.
Well, their scores are behind.
So I was looking at the wrong box score earlier, so that game is far from over. Well, that helps the Aces, a chance to stay alive for an extra day if Canberra wins that game. George goes down on strikes. Making sure the offense has a chance to go ahead in the bottom of the 8th. John Kennedy and Matt Beatty doing the job. Pitch from McKillican, ripped foul again. So Lavarnway's on it, but just a little ahead. Lavarnway looking to do some damage. Goes down on strikes here, though. 5 straight punch-outs for the Adelaide bullpen.
But not really that aggressive on the base paths when he was able to get on base. You'd like to see them, if they get someone on, try and steal a base.
Well, that'll do it. An infield single for Dale. Martinez picked it on the backhand out at short, but no chance.
A run, and then let their bullpen do the rest in the 9th.
Whitefield chases a breaking ball low and away. Short lead for him right now, though. 0-1, Whitefield takes a strike. It's 0-2.
Whitefield, Robson, and Khalil leading off the 9th.
Chopper to short, Martinez to Ward, and the fielder's choice ends the inning. A lot of weapons in this Aces bullpen. Rutsky pitches in a lot of big spots. The guy you trust in this spot with the lefties in the order to get them out.
Just to try and keep the Aces in the ball game or look for a save. As the first pitch to McArdles, a nasty breaking ball in there for the called strike.
The home plate umpire just kind of gave up on it. Stuart Howe probably thought, oh, this one's going to cross high.
Just so much movement on the curve. There's another one. That settles over the outside corner for a called strike 2. Full count. Here's the payoff. The curve, weakly tap back to the mound. Rutsky's going to go behind the mound to get it, and a quick throw to first for out number 1.
As we take a look at the replay, curveball, snap that out of his hand, and then he has to change his direction, go back and get that. I mean, that's the perfect spot to deploy one of your best relievers.
1-0, called strike. That curveball's been his number 1 pitch tonight. 21 straight outs for Matt Beatty. 1-1. Hit the other way, high, far, foul. A pause from Rutsky from the stretch, deals. Fastball, called strike 3. Freezing January.
Case where I think January might have been looking breaking ball, expecting that hammer curveball.
5-5 ball game. Rutsky deals. Swing and a miss. The fastball makes it 1-1. Now the 2-1. Hard line drive over the head of Khalil into right for a 2-out base hit. Walters gets his first hit of the evening, and that'll reset the lineup card for Adelaide. First pitch to Ward, in there for a called strike. To the newest Philadelphia Philly. Nasty curveball drops in on the inside corner, and Rutsky's a strike away from sending it to the bottom ninth. Rutsky set. Now the 1-2. Just missing outside. Did he go? Yes, he did. Gets out of the ninth with his second strikeout. Let's take a look here. Yep. Looks like Ward went around. A walk is every bit as good of a hit in this situation. 2-0, hit high and foul. A little bit late. 2-1. Hit up the middle, and that's a chopper to Martinez. He'll field, throw to first, beating Robson by a step.
Made a lot of slick plays out at short tonight. He's showing his range, and that's a nice play. Tough play up the middle. Good footwork there and a strong arm.
Played in a couple of World Series. Khalil hits it the other way. That one's going to leak through, and the Aces put the go-ahead runner on in the ninth. Ward will stay at second base. Khalil's on first with one out, and Chris Burke looking to break the tie and end the game at the plate. 2-1. Khalil or George. Wow. Do you try and keep Khalil on first, who's lengthened his lead? Instead, he goes to 3-2. And a very late called strike three. The fans don't like it. Let's take a look at it here.
Oh, no.
That's
outside.
For a called strike three. As Glendenning swings and misses, but Khalil will escape to second on the wild pitch. And great heads-up base running to put the... McGillican deals. And now it's 2-2. Look at it, Skolny on deck circle. It might be called a strike. That goes low and outside, and Robbie Glendenning will head to second base, or head to first base with a walk. Came for that Brisbane series. That was his first one. And that one is hit into left center field. Is it going to drop? Diving Carr! Oh my goodness, he makes the catch! A game-saving stop for Jared Carr. Wow. If that dropped, it would have been a walk-off. But Jared Carr laying out to keep this game going. A wild inning. And once again, we're heading into extras. Dan McGraw coming in after a really solid inning by Evan Rutsky. And this punt 1-2-3 call to the bullpen brings in a guy who has recorded 2 saves in each of his past 2 appearances.
Now McGraw having to work with men on base.
So per international rules, a pickoff at first base, and we've got one out. How about that? A quick strike to first eliminates Nick Ward from the equation. Huge pickoff, and we'll take a look right here.
Oh, his pickoff move is filthy. It's so much easier as a lefty to move over to first base.
Yeah, eat your heart out, Andy Pettit. That was one of the nicest pickoff moves I've ever seen. A quick out and a nice push bunt over to first base by Martinez. Moves the runner to third, so Ian Walters 90 feet from scoring for Adelaide. All you need is a ball in the infield, and the Aces should go in with a tie game. Get me over fastball makes it 3-1. 2 outs, the pitch. Called strike on the inside corner. The payoff again. Inside, and that's ball 4. As has McGraw, though. First pitch to him right down Main Street for a called strike. That is hit high in the air out to left field, and that is going to bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. So Lattimore into second. Scoring on the play is Walters, and Kirion will move to third.
First man to bat in the bottom of the 10th reaches for the Aces. I mean, advantage Aces if it's only a 1-run deficit. But that's a high and away fastball that Lattimore just put a good swing on and sent it over the wall for the ground rule double. But again,
now the 1-0. Breaking ball catching the outside corner, 1-1. In Jared Dale to do up for Melbourne. 2-1. Swing and a miss, blowing the fastball by him. Here's the payoff. Waving a whiff, strike 3. Dan McGraw punches out Carr for the final out of the 10th inning. but a run comes across. The Aces will have to do it against one of the best relievers in the ABL, Todd Van Steensel, coming up to the mound for the bottom of the 10th. Actually, the Cavs win, so the Aces can't be eliminated today. First pitch to George, a high bunt, and it's caught by the first baseman in foul territory.
And I don't know if that was Darrell's call or it came from the coaching staff, but that's a tough one right there, because down 1 run with 2 on, you don't really need to bunt.
An interesting call leading off the 10th, but now the big power bat of Ryan Lavarnway coming up, spraying this one foul. Van Steensel deals. Fouled away again, and Lavarnway, last couple at bats, has really been zeroing in on something big. And that one is hit the other way into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Motoring around third is Glendinning. The throw is late, and Robbie Glendinning ties this game. Skull into third, safe. Ryan Lavarnway comes up clutch for the Aces, and this game is tied. Took advantage of the throw wide of the plate, and Ryan Lavarnway has done nothing but deliver since coming to the Aces. Look how far offline this throw is. A good one wouldn't have gotten Glendinning, and Skoll, smart base running. 1 out, the pitch. Swing and a miss. The breaking ball goes low. Van Steensel deals. That one is hit into center field. Carr will not get there. Jared Dale says goodnight, and the Aces walk it off. 7-6 Melbourne.